we're going to jump right into the action here. And cheers to everybody watching at home. Make sure to come to Clive's Pub if you want to join in on the fun. So, in just a moment, we're going to see our first pool. We'll be having Geoffrey Campbell, Donald Wooden, Isaiah Hollingsworth, Chris Bigelow, and Nikolas Chad coming in here. Our first match will be Donald Wooden versus Nikolas Chad. We're just going to confirm some things with our director, Joe, before we get started. And I do believe we also need a drip cam on our gold fighter.
Oh, yeah.
Because
he's really bringing it out today.
Phenomenal. And with us in the commentator's booth, we have a new commentator, Ethan. Tell the crowd a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name's Ethan. I'm affiliated with Bridge City. Gotta rep the locals.
We love our Portland sister club.
I know. Hey, I appreciate it. I've been coming over to you guys for some rapier lessons over the past handful of months. Shout out Kai Eva.
Kai is a great coach. Andy Plymate, the ringleader, Bridge City Blades, one of my favorite guys to fence with and learn from. So, phenomenal club. And here we go.
Oh, right back into it.
Right into it. Donald Wooden on the left, Nikolas Chad on the right. A dive in from both of them.
Both really trying to.
We have some disagreement from the judges on who struck first. So we're going to call that a clean hit red to the head. Now, Ethan, your experience is a little bit more rapier involved. Tell us what you're looking for in longsword. What sort of techniques would you like to see? That was sort of a rapier technique there. That
was really, really beautiful. And I don't think I can really take a lot of credit for that. Getting those one-handed thrusts have just been a lot of fun. I've seen that in a lot of different competitors.
Yeah. But very popular this year.
What I really love to see is a nice thrust in opposition, a nice thrust with control. I think that's probably one of the most beautiful things that you can get.
Yeah, those nice structured, planted thrusts. So a little bit more cautious approach.
Yeah, coming in. Oh, really getting those probing attacks in.
Though that footwork from Donald, avoiding all of the feinting strikes.
Hey, but that was really good defense from the afterblow on him.
Absolutely. And really defending with the feet before defending with the sword, and then coming in for that counterattack.
Yeah, just trying to make that tempo.
Nikolas putting on a masterful performance here. So far unwounded.
See him go for that hand snipe. Ooh.
That, if they had determined that Donald's attack hit at the same time there, that could have been a double. But that's actually going to be a clean 9-3 victory for Nikolas Chad. Really well done. Love the little skirt action he's got going on.
Yeah, it really adds a nice little sense of flair.
A great sense of motion, especially during that great footwork sequence.
Oh, perfectly.
Moving past all those blows. Now we've got our boy Isaiah fighting for IFG. And he'll be going up against somebody.
Looks like Chris
Bigelow. From the Loyal Order of the Sword.
I'm not actually familiar with that club.
That's all right. There's a lot of clubs out in attendance today. Both fighters sitting in the bind, wide stances. Ooh, like a feinted thrust and cut around from Isaiah. Beautifully done.
I've been seeing a lot of hand snipes in here, and I've been hearing some things about people saying it really is kind of supported in that rule set. So I think a lot of people are kind of trying to play it safe, really trying to play a little bit more defensive.
Yeah, I mean, clean fencing is the best way to win. If you go for those deep targets while opening yourself up to counterattack, you're sacrificing a lot of those points, a lot of the potential for points. So getting a clean, shallow hit, a lot of time. Ooh,
And that was a... See,
Beautiful.
now that's the rapier that I look for.
counter thrust to a deep target, off-putting his own, off-putting Chris's blade.
Going right back
Great
in.
showing from Isaiah so far.
And he really takes that really wide, very rooted stance.
I love the way he's not telegraphing his attacks with his shoulders, right? A lot of his action is coming from below the elbow, which makes
Yeah.
it really easy to slip past that point forward defense.
Yeah, you know, he's been coming over to some of the IFG classes or the rapier classes, and he's been such a great fight.
Yeah.
So it's really great to see him in his element out here.
Oh,
And that looked like a really
a good
nice
couple of parries, but Chris
had a-
did manage to sneak in that thrust to the hands.
Yep. Right underneath Isaiah's parry. Defense.
We have a judge deeply deliberating on where the target was. All right, Joe's calling the afterblow flat. It's very important. The strikes have to hit with good edge alignment, showing control and technical ability.
And I
You
think-
love to see that. That was just a straight thrust, counter thrust with displacement.
You know, I hate to say it, but that happens all the time in rapier. You know, you think you have that line, and your opponent thinks the exact same thing, and
Chris manages to come out on top of that exchange. A little more cautious as Isaiah poking, prodding, both in a low guard.
That was a great displacement of his thrust.
Great defense. I didn't see any martial strikes of quality land. Joe agrees. No agreement, no exchange.
Here we are. Oh.
Oh,
Yep.
that's
first
going to be a
tempo.
double. Fighters attacking in the same tempo, both landing.
Oh. Nice play from Isaiah, getting that nice feint into just another line.
I got to say, I saw both of them hit there. Isaiah with the thrust and getting tapped on the top of the head. I'm going to agree with our far judge there. That was a blow with afterblow.
Are you saying that our judges don't have supreme power?
Hey, he still called it right. Great work from Chris there, getting the afterblow. Oh, committing
he
to the
almost had
thrust.
that. Just a little short from Chris.
Way to void that thrust, even as he was being chased, winding around for the cut overhand. Now, for me, I saw it land on the hilt, but they're showing that as clean strike. Isaiah doing
Oh, and there
great
he
work
goes.
and getting that last clean blow to the arm.
Breaking that rhythm that they worked so hard to create.
Just showing how important tempo is in longsword and in rapier, right?
Oh, totally. You know, I feel like one of the biggest things in rapier really is that measure and tempo game and just your response to it. You know, and I've seen a lot more in longsword as well. And I think that, you know, there's a nice difference, but there's also a lot more commonality than most people think.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're still trying to put a hunk of metal in your opponent while keeping their hunk of metal out of you. So up next, we've got Nikolas Chad back up from Seven Swords Academy versus Jeff Campbell from Lone and Lead. Or Geoffrey, depending on how you want to read it.
We're both adopting a high guard.
Yeah, Jeff coming in with the very standard Lonin approach, chopping in on the hands. Great response from Nick, getting out of the way of it and planting that thrust in the chest. Both trying to find the bind.
Just trying to establish something.
Oh, a very committed thrust from Nikolas. responded to with a counter thrust from Jeff, both landing in the same tempo. That will be a double. I love the cat patch on Nick Chad's helmet.
You know, it really kind of reminds me of like a little rooster tail.
Yeah.
But I think it adds a lot of character, you know, something. I feel like a lot of HEMAs really put a lot of pride into the way that they look, and so it's always some of the best parts of coming out to tournaments is just seeing the different stylistic approaches that people take.
Definitely. Fashion HEMA is best HEMA. All right, keeping the score very even.
Coming back both, taking a little bit more passive. Comes in, crash. Oh, and look at that. A grapple with the under. I think in Italian that's an imbricata. No, it's a stoccata. It's a rising thrust.
Yeah, straight into the gut. You could see him recoil there, but looks like that thrust was late, so they count it as an afterblow.
Mm.
Still very even. Oh, a much higher quality strike there from Jeff, landing to the head.
Oh, it looks like we got a little bit of contention with the judges.
Okay, so they're going to say that Nick got a good quality strike to the ribs, and Jeff responded with that cut to the head. Switching guards as Nick.
Taking a little bit more of that point back.
Oh, we
right
see
into
a
that
strong
crash.
Zverkow and a scramble.
Straight into the pommel strike.
Clean hit, gold on a deep target. Let's see where that comes in. It looks like they're counting maybe that slash around after the grapple to the head. Let's see if Geoffrey can claw back some wounds here. A low guard, looking for the crump, but missing the reaction. That should be a thrust with control.
Yeah, it looks like we got one judge agreeing with that.
Yes. Evening up the score in the final hour, bringing it to 1-1.
Now, these are the matches I really like to watch.
Really impressive. Seeing that crump coming, planting the thrust ahead of it. Oh.
I think that might be it.
That is a blow with a late afterblow. Joe is agreeing with our far judge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He struck into those ribs. Match for Jeff Campbell. Clawing victory from the jaws of defeat. Well done to our Lone and League friends.
You know, it's such a great match. You know, I really love seeing
really
the
phenomenal
in their element.
Excellent work. And now we're going to see our next match. We have some knight-like sword handoff. A kneel showing honor and respect to the opponent. Coming in from a squat, very relaxed stance. Again, voiding those hits with the footwork.
Very light on his feet. Oh, man, a nice strike.
Getting the blow after blow. Striking, it looked like to the abdomen, but they're going to call it to the thigh. Again, Ooh. Caught him with the thrust on the way in. Donald looking very relaxed coming into the exchanges, belying how coiled, how ready he is to jump in and out of the exchange. Taking a kneel while we see a mono E from the judges. Mono E, of course, being a judges' conference in sumo.
I've gotten to actually talk to Donnie quite a couple of times, and he takes a lot of experience from kendo, and I think you really can see that in his fencing and a lot of his attitude towards it.
Yeah. He even has that sort of classic kendo stance of sort of a higher point forward guard, lashing out like a little snake. All right, the judge is going to decline the self-call, call that a blow after blow. Donald light, but approaching deep into his measure with no plan to respond, giving Chris an easy, clean shot.
It was a really good response.
Yeah. I think Donald was trying to hide the measure there a little bit, but Chris was well in tune.
Trying to displace Chris's blade.
Yeah, trying to make a little bit of room down that center line. Chris really not letting it happen, defending his hands. That blow lands on the cross guard. Oh! With thrust, counter thrust. I agree with our FAR judge. We did see a double.
I think that might be our next double.
But the flying sword saves them both. They're not going to count that. Whoa.
Chris really going for that deep lunge. Oh, but a great response from Donald.
Yeah. The deep lunge voided by that excellent footwork from Donald, and he comes in that counter tempo, that mezzo tempo, and hits him with the strike. Really fantastic fencing from both of these guys.
Donnie trying to get that hand snipe.
Trading upcuts.
Oh.
Yeah, blow after blow.
I could definitely
seems like a reasonable call. It was an excellent thrust.
Still a really close match.
Yet another. Oh,
Chris
a strike to the head, very narrowly defended. We see that sort of Italian body leaning backwards from Chris, running in for the thrust, but getting caught on the leg on the way in. Yeah, they're saying that thrust was passé, missed just a little bit. Donald now taking a slight lead with these last few exchanges.
Oh, and a great parry of that thrust from Chris.
It looked like it might have caught a little bit, but it was not planted. I did like Chris's attempt at a sort of backwards flick cut to the head, although I doubt they count that as a martial strike.
Well, you never know.
Here we see Donald looking zen like a samurai, knelt. I think that counts for a drip check. And Liam Clark, just so you know, red is on left, gold is on your right. They are giving red 1 wound for a shallow strike. That thrust was counted as passé. Circling, reclaiming the center, going for a cut. Both fighters nervous. It's close. Trying to bat away the sword and open up the center line. He avoids it with a Duplirin. Strikes into the ribs. I think that's a Duplirin, right?
That's
when
a great
you
question.
dip and...
I'd love to say that I know, that I'm confident in my German, but, I'm still learning.
What do you call that in Italian when you evade the opponent's sword before going in for a cut?
I call that a disengage, but depending on the disengage, it could be maybe a cavazione.
Okay.
When you dip your sword underneath your opponent's.
Yeah. All right, we've got our next match coming up. Looks like Isaiah Hollingsworth against our friend in the Lonin League, Jeff Campbell. This is a match I'm particularly excited for. Any Lonin versus IFG match is always a great time. Flurry of slashes there. Both judges agreeing blow after blow on a deep target.
Both seeming very eager to get this match started.
Absolutely. Isaiah claiming the center.
Oh, but a great response.
That's going to be, unfortunately, a double, I think. Both fighters attacking in the same tempo.
Like that thrust from Jeff didn't quite plant.
Yeah. Jeff did a great job of displacing that initial blow so that Isaiah's after blow was out of tempo. But they're still going to call that after blow as well. Very interesting stances from Isaiah. Ooh,
there's
that
thrust he was looking for.
Was an excellently planted thrust and pulled it back for that defense of the afterblow. Excellent technique from Jeff.
And both fighters starting to get a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, you can see Isaiah has that very sort of classical footwork of heel to toe stepping, whereas Jeff is staying very much light on his toes like a boxer. Comes out for Isaiah this time. What a great pose that was at the end.
You can see both fighters preparing for another overhead attack.
Exactly. You keep fighting until you hear the halt. A jump in from Isaiah to claim the center.
Coming in with that feint of the foot.
Stomping to elicit some reaction. Jeff with the more committed attack. I'm going to agree with our close judge here that Isaiah got the first contact. But we'll see how the judges handle it after the mono-e. We'll see it here in slow motion. Oh, yeah, Jeff not quite making it with that thrust, but on the Untersberg that he comes around with, does hit. They do give the afterblow to Isaiah, though. Both fighters are going to suffer one wound, keeping it a very even match. Some encouragement from the second there. Great footwork from Isaiah to clear the blade, but a committed attack from Geoffrey seems to land on the hands.
And as we've gotten deeper into this match, I see a lot more hesitancy from both fighters.
Absolutely. They both realize how much of a danger the other is. I mean, they've traded blow and after blow. I think they both realize that they need to have a defended, committed attack in order to claim a lead here. Oh!
Jeff almost landing that flash.
That thrust did not look like it landed to me.
It looked a little short, but he sure was committed. And, you know, that's really what you need in those forward-weighted thrusts.
Yeah. Just a little short. They're going to wash that. Isaiah doing a great job of claiming space, making Geoffrey fight from the back foot. He's actually going to force a ring out here if he pushes him any further. That did look like Jeff managed to get a shot on the forearm there. I don't know what Isaiah landed.
You know, it did look a little light from this angle. But I do think it's another hard call from the judges.
Another mono-e. Have you ever watched any sumo? Any sumo? Have you ever watched any?
No, I have not.
Oh.
You know, but I have a lot of people who really speak highly of it.
It's like fencing, but with big, fat, naked men. It's great.
That sounds like just my type.
So after the judges meet, they're going to say no quality to any of those strikes.
You know, Isaiah really claiming that space with his feet, you know, getting very comfortable.
Keeping his blade high, but Geoffrey is doing a great job of not letting himself get pushed too far back. He's almost drawing Isaiah into measure before jumping out. Like he's trying to let Isaiah believe that he's in a space of power before launching that attack.
Definitively.
And successfully, Geoffrey is going to take the match. Another win for Lonan. Great work. But still great fencing from Isaiah. Claiming space, doing a great job of defending some of those more committed attacks. Enough slipped through, though.
No, I do really like Isaiah's fencing, and I'm such a fan of him whenever we fence in rapier. It's always such a joy. You know, we have such great back and forths, and to see him here in what I know he would claim much more is just always exciting, and not even from him, but all the fencers who've been able to come out and really make the effort. It's been such a pleasure.
Yeah, Isaiah in particular has had some very picturesque sort of guards and footwork that I've really appreciated. Next up, we've got right into it. We've got Nikolas Chad versus Chris Bigelow. Ooh!
Another sword drop.
Thrust that was landed and then subsequently disarmed by the attempt at, I mean, it was a landed thrust. If these were sharp swords and no armor, that sword would be stuck deep into Nikolas Chad.
You know, there's actually plenty of plates and rapier text that speak exactly to that, of stabbing straight through your opponents and working off of that pressure in. And it's, I found a lot of challenge in trying to replicate that in sparring.
Yeah. It doesn't work as well when your sword doesn't go through your opponent. Nikolas fishing for a crumpow there, trying to move his blade offhand. Chris doing a great job at keeping his hands back, not really opening himself up for a loss of structure.
Really keeping a cool head against Chris's probing attacks.
Yeah. Oh.
Straight into that.
Chris comes straight out with a nice shot to the hand, but never mind. I was wrong. Nikolas got the strike. Chris got an afterblow.
Both fencers getting very established in their measure.
Again, hunting for that crump-how, hunting for some way to break the structure, forces him way out of the ring. That is, ring outs aren't themselves considered a scoring action, but there was a cut that the judges saw during that grapple. Again, Nikolas looking for...
What a great opportunity found by Nikolas.
Almost
Chris, my apologies.
caught that just briefest moment of bind to wind his sword in and displace Nikolas's blade. Excellent work from Chris there.
And that's one of my opinions of longsword. I feel like the thrust is always a nice little sparkle on top. I've seen a lot of cutting, but not a lot of dependence on that thrust.
Oh, Nikolas going for the very risky, almost desperate single-handed strike to the leg. Gets responded to with a really strong thrust. Nikolas just trying to claw back some of these points. Or wounds, rather. Chris looking very relaxed. Going for the undercut. Another attempted crump from Nikolas. Just woven straight through by Chris for a well-planted thrust.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If the play works, keep playing. Great work to Chris there, taking the match. Let's see that in slow motion. So you see, Nikolas has been looking for that crump all match. Couldn't quite get it. He gets voided, and that committed thrust just lands straight to the abdomen. Now we've got our good friend Donald Wooden versus our better friend Isaiah Hollingsworth. Ooh! That looked like a strike from Isaiah, but I couldn't quite see it from this angle.
It looks like the judges are probably going to call it double.
Yeah. Blow after blow, one wound for each. Isaiah needs to clean up his defense just a little bit. His offense is looking really good. He's getting in those attacks. He needs to work on parrying the afterblows. Does a great job that time getting a clean strike. Claiming the center. Donald not letting him quite push out. Ooh, goes for the single-handed, gets put off.
All great attempted thrust from Isaiah, but
yeah,
looks like a better response from Donald.
A deep thrust from Isaiah met with an afterblow from Don. Evening up the score? No, not quite. Extending his lead, actually. Jumping into the center again is Isaiah. Donald using that great footwork to push him back. Voids the strike to his head by level changing, hitting him with a cut to the abdomen. Great body movement from Donald. He's calling a afterblow to the head, though.
Been great to see the honor in fencing out here.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I really love about this sport.
Everybody wants to have a good, fair match. Playing in the bind quicker is Donald, making a clean strike to the wrist. And that evens up the score, 4-4. Isaiah transitioning guards, fools to Vomtog to point forward.
That same
doesn't quite get it. Did that look like a double to you?
I could say so.
However, Joe says that because Isaiah's hit had less quality, they're not going to call that a double.
I will say the strike from Donald was very apparent. whereas the strike from Isaiah was not as
planted quite a bit better. I love Isaiah's leap into the center.
But that strong presence in the center of the ring.
Ooh, that to me looked like Isaiah deflected. Yeah, both judges agree. Isaiah deflected the thrust as part of his own thrust, hitting that deep target clean. Really good fencing from Isaiah there.
Trying to get that strike.
That thrust went passé, and he hit the shield how with the short edge to the top of the head. That should be end of match. And we see Donald, the ever honorable, taking it. Oh, no quality on either strike. Wow, okay. The skirt is so drippy. Going again for two of those short edge strikes, neither quite making the mark. They're going to call that a double. Donald's thrust landing at the same time as that second shield how. Oh, a clean strike from the hand with a great hanger guard to block those afterblows.
No, I don't think that Donald really thought that strike was going to come through. Looked very prepared in those first few.
Yeah.
That last one just slipping right past.
We have a little bit of coaching for Joe, for his favorite student. No, just kidding.
That was a controversial statement?
No, he's a impartial director. Leaping into the center is both of them. Oh, we have
afterblow coming from
Isaiah. Some traded shallow hits, it looked to me. Unfortunately, because Donald only has one wound left, that is going to be match Isaiah. Excellent work to both fencers there.
Well, and I don't think we've seen more than one double in the last handful of matches.
Yeah, each match has had one double, and doubles do happen. You both get the idea at the same time. Ultimately, you can't change to defense fast enough. You're gonna get a double.
Oh, but we've seen some pretty clean fencing. There hasn't been as many as there has in the previous pools. So it's really great to see some defensive-minded fencers out here.
We got Chris Bigelow up again versus Geoffrey Campbell. Taking a moment to rest. Unfortunately, I am now out of beer. All right. Chris Bigelow claiming the center. Wow, some really pretty fencing there from Geoffrey. Coming in with some great defensive parries.
Really a great defense. Seeing him make his attack, but miss and still parry as he enters.
Yeah. Going for the same attack twice with the same defense, both effective. Chopping for the hands, making sure Chris is defending himself. He is keeping those hands back, making sure that there's not a huge vulnerable target for Geoffrey, but Geoffrey commits to that thrust and gets the hanger parry up in time. Coming back in. Geoffrey doing the same thing, backing up, bringing, a passe thrust, a strike to the top of the head from Geoffrey. No, from Chris. Excuse me.
Maybe we back you up like 3 feet.
But again, Geoffrey's doing a great job of drawing them into his measure so that when he explodes out,
Ozzy, let's make sure that
it's unexpected.
that board back.
Bringing the guard a little higher, preparing for a cut on the edge of the ring. Oh,
See Jeff preparing for that attack. You know. I think that's, as you mentioned, really playing at that edge of measure just to find that right moment to just explode into his opponent.
Gold did land first. Another very even match in this pool. Trying to displace with that upcut. Playing at the edge.
Still playing at that edge of measure. Oh, but really trying to enter in.
There was no cut of quality there. There was a lot of sword contact on body, but not a whole lot of actual martial striking. And Joe agrees.
It's those moments that, as a fencer, you know, you feel it can be very definitive, but from the outside, it can be just such a hard observation to make.
Yeah. Oh. An interesting trying to cut around the blade.
I think Chris
And another double.
trying to maneuver off of that thrust that Geoffrey's really been making and putting a lot of weight into.
First double of the match. Transitioning guards as Jeff trying to play at the blade, get a little bit of a bind to know where he is. Chopping to the left twice, committing to a thrust, not landing. Uh-oh.
Looks like I got a sword stuck.
Yeah, that sword went straight through the glove there. We're going to have a call for a medic. That thrust weaved in between the plates of those gloves. We're going to take a little break while our medical staff gives some attention to our lone and fighter.
Yeah, but that's the risk that you take when you come out to these tournaments. You know, everyone's coming with such intensity and such this energy that sometimes injuries happen.
Yeah, and you know, ultimately when you're committing to that thrust, if there's just a millimeter of difference between landing on the protective plate and landing on the leather in between them, I mean, historically speaking, that's how you win fights, right? Is you land a blow in between somebody's armor plates. And unfortunately, we don't want to see that in the modern time where we're looking for sporting.
Little ironic coming from the history of this and the context.
Exactly. But all the same, you know, great sportsmanship, calling the halt, nobody continuing. And it looks like we have Jeff coming on back. His glove is A-OK. His hand is A-OK. We're seeing great sportsmanship. Everybody's confirmed that we're all happy. And we're going to resume shortly.
You know, but one of the things that I've been really impressed with this year's tournament is the lack of severe injuries. You know, I know that's been a huge point of contention in the HEMA community. I've been to several other tournaments in the past where I've seen a lot of impetus being put on that. A lot of people trying to get some safe fencing out there and really make people feel more comfortable in the sport. Yeah.
And that comes down so much to the judges and directors that we have that are, you know, monitoring for any escalation in force and calling halts quickly, making sure that nobody's getting injured. We want to keep having this same tournament for years and years, and you know, the important part of that is making sure that fighters can come back year after year.
Back into our match here.
Straight back into it. We see a little more caution from Geoffrey. I mean, you know, even if you don't get an injury, it still hurts a little bit, still makes you just a little bit nervous to commit so hard. Oh, but a great strike into the parry, parrying the response, and then getting that nice quick cut to the body.
Yeah.
That should be match. Oh. Yeah. Joe thought that he saw the slash hit the hip, but we're getting a self-call that is a deep target. We have one more. Well, maybe many more.
Match is yet to be completed.
Our judges scuttling around the ring, trying to get a good view of what's going to happen.
Moving into a grapple.
A committed thrust with a loss of control from Geoffrey and what looked to me like a clean hit to the top of the head from Chris.
But that's really what happens when you go and crash into measure like that. And I've been seeing a lot of that today, of a lot of fencers really getting into that measure and, kind of having that same idea of wanting to break and make that attack. And especially when you both make such an aggressive advance, you really get into that body crash.
It looked like somebody hit a hand there. But Joe is the only one who saw it. And you can see just how physically exhausting this sport is. You see the sweat stain starting to appear on both fighters through these thick gambesons.
Oh, and a great parry from Jeff.
Yeah, really good displacement above the head into the Zverkow, and that afterblow looked out of tempo to me. Match again to Lonin, putting on a great performance here early in this elimination pool. I gotta say, these tater tots are delightful.
Yeah, it was a real great present to be awarded.
Yeah, tater tots with cheese sauce. Thank you to Peter Bierning. We'll look forward to seeing him a little later.
Trying to give me some ideas there.
All right, Isaiah versus Nikolas.
This is
both with short chops.
Both moving into measure and really staying in there and trying to commit their attacks off of. You can see those front foots planting. Even Nikolas moving forward in the middle of their parry response.
Yeah, lunging into that little thrust afterblow. Isaiah jumping into the center again. Oh! As Nikolas raises up to defend the high angle, Isaiah comes in for a middle how to the abdomen.
Yeah. It's really great. Both fencers really seeing those opportunities that the other's presenting them and just trying to work off of them as soon as they can.
Isaiah doing a great job here. Nikolas going for that crump how again. Ooh, a strong one-handed cut around to the head. Let's see what came in before. Yeah. Joe agrees. That one-handed cut around using the pressure from Isaiah's deflection to wheel around and get a really clean hit to the head.
Nikolas playing a little bit more reserved.
Yeah, trying again for that one-handed extended throw.
Getting that commitment in.
A little bit of wiggling in the bind until Isaiah gets free and gets that shortcut to the head.
Really trying to put pressure on Isaiah's deep stance.
Ooh, a switch stance from Nikolas into the deflection and strike, but Isaiah hits first. And that is going to bring the score to 6-1. Nikolas needs to do something here. Nikolas going for that committed thrust. That afterblow had a little too much sauce on it, I'd say.
Nikolas did what he needed to do and got that planted, but didn't look like he quite defended that afterblow.
No, and unfortunately, because he has one wound, even though he got the better of that exchange, that is going to go to Isaiah for the win. Great work to both fencers. We have some, the second, taking back the armband that denotes who's on who. And again, we have
our friend.
We have our beskirted friend against our Lonin adversary.
Coming into our final match of this pool.
Daniel and Geoffrey.
Donald's staying very relaxed.
Yeah. Not biting, not putting the pressure on Geoffrey that everybody else has, sort of playing a little further back, making Geoffrey come to him.
But a great void from that thrust that Jeff's been pulling this whole time.
Yeah. We have a call for gear just to give Geoffrey a moment to adjust his helmet. Yeah, Donald again coming in very relaxed, not putting a ton of pressure, voiding the strikes, getting that first hit to the head.
A good response from that lack of action coming from Donald.
Interesting, they're actually going to call that as Geoffrey's initial strike. I didn't quite catch it there in the slow-mo. Geoffrey definitely adjusting, pushing a little further into the center, trying to bait Donald into putting that pressure on. That's going to be a double.
Coming to our first double.
Strike to the top of the head and a thrust to the abdomen. They're going to wash the exchange as one or both of those strikes were flat. Oh!
And a beautiful thrust coming from Geoffrey.
A well-planted thrust to the neck.
Really, really good to see that flex.
Not quite getting control of his opponent's sword, but definitely displacing it, even turning his body, presenting a thinner target. Going for the Zverkow, but actually a little too close, so he gets blocked. Still gets a cut coming out on the other end.
Yeah, and you can really see that coming from him, making that initial thrust, and the moment his opponents are able to parry, he gets that cut around to really take their opponents offline.
It's a really high percentage technique. As long as you can bait your opponent into an over defense, a clean strike to the hand from Donald, but some action after the halt. Yeah, and we're going to see a yellow card to Donald for those attempted strikes after the halt. But he will get the point. Both fighters not willing to jump in. Ooh.
And great attempt of that contra tempo from Geoffrey. Really pushing straight into his opponent's attack, getting that hit.
Yeah. that afterblow keeping Donald in the race.
Not quite at that 6-point differential.
Geoffrey only needs one more hit or afterblow.
Like a little bit more loose.
Yeah, feeling much more comfortable, and he gets that quick strike to the leg before Donald can void it.
No, and a great opportunity to see, not taking any unnecessary risk and just moving around.
Yeah, match to Geoffrey. That's all of the matches of this pool so far to Geoffrey. Great work coming back from a potential injury, getting stabbed in the hand, and taking victories anyways. And we're going to have our next pool coming up shortly, right?
Yeah, I believe that's the end of our first pool. So we're coming into, let's see here. We've got our pool 6 coming up soon.
So we're going to go ahead and take a short break. So what were some of the things you saw there that reminded you of techniques that you've learned in rapier and, how those translate to longsword and how these folks are fighting?
Yeah, it was really nice seeing some thrust into overpowering someone's guard, and especially in rapier, I think that's such a great thing to come into. It is
Man, I love this black and white sort of paisley floral fit back there. I think we can get a drip check on the black and white fighter over there? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you could drip check us as well. Yeah, look at that. Those Pluderhosen are phenomenal.
Such a great pattern, and that's one of those specials,
Absolutely, and just a shot to the side of our boy in the skirt, Donald, looking great. So many well-dressed fighters out here today.
I believe it's a true sentiment of HEMA, of the better you dress, the better you perform.
Exactly. The better you look, the better you fight.
It's not only a test of your technique, but a test of your fashionable taste. Again, very, very true to the historic context.
Yeah, technique is taste, taste is technique. It's all up for, especially with the Italians, right? As you go from longsword to rapier to short sword, evolving guards from the swept guard to the clamshell guard, giving up a little bit of that defense just to look a little bit cooler.
Well, I think that's the defining characteristic of our art. Is we really try to put some focus onto the artistic part of it.
Definitely the defining attribute of Italians. As well.
Certainly. But you know what? I think a lot of our tradition kind of comes from that dueling mentality and those dueling traditions, especially of nobility, where we come from a lot of wanting to make sure that you overpower and overperform your opponent, but doing it in style.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so much of what we do comes from the old school duels, even just having a second, right? Somebody to advocate for you in those times where adrenaline's high. You don't want, as a fighter, to also be responsible for communicating needs to the people that are sort of making the decision. So that's why we have seconds communicate to the director any issues that the fighter might have. Historically speaking, though, the seconds were there to make sure that satisfaction was had.
Certainly.
If you got a cut across the abdomen and couldn't fight anymore, your second was there to say, no, you got us. You got our guy. Or vice versa, my guy is satisfied with the wound that we have inflicted.
Surely, and in some cases, no wound being exchanged at all. Just that rattling of swords at that moment where two fighters or duelists in this context coming together and realizing, you know what, I don't want to kill this guy at the risk of getting myself killed.
I don't want to get stabbed for this. I live my day-to-day life like that. Am I willing to get stabbed for this? No, don't do it.
And that's personally a sentiment that I share. Is I'm
Yeah.
not really a huge fan of getting stabbed. Can't say it's an experience that I ever want to have. But
Well, getting stabbed in the face by your friends is one of the best things about HEMA, as long as you can stab them in the face back, and then I'll go get a beer after.
Oh, well, that's the end of practice beer is certainly, that's a necessity.
Absolutely. In Portland, we do, or at IFG, because you're also in Portland.
Unfortunately,
IFG
yeah, we do. There's a contest for who owns it now.
Whoa, okay.
But
Is there,
maybe we'll have
though?
to have a fight for it.
I don't see the Bridge City Blades tournament happening year after year, so...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. But after practice at IFG, we all head to the Lucky Lab, get beers, pizza. What's Bridge City Blades post-practice routine?
We kind of go back and forth. We actually found a Lucky Lab close to ours, and I've really loved that tradition of you guys. So I've been trying to kind of bring that back to our club, of have that as our consistency. But our favorite is my father's place, a nice little cozy dive bar. Off
Yeah.
And we've had this long-standing tradition of getting their chicken fried steak and pancakes and eggs and a beer. At 10
breakfast
p.m.
food at 10
At
p.m.?
10 p.m. Yes, sir.
This is why IFG will remain the most prominent club in Portland, because we have dinner food at dinner time.
But I think you're missing out.
Ethan, you have somebody looking out for you.
Oh, and it's our one and only Donnie. Coming out, getting some nice gratification. I actually spoke with Donnie prior to this, and he just wanted to ensure that I did nothing but speak poorly about him on camera. So I think I
you
might have
did
let
a
him down.
terrible job.
I know. I'll have to apologize to him on that.
I gotta say, he had some phenomenal exchanges there. I really liked how honorable he was showing. A lot of self-calling. I'm gonna eat a tater tot.
I think that's what this time's perfect for. We really got this nice downtime in between pools. This is that opportunity in Hemo, where you get that other person who you had a phenomenal match, and you guys just get that bonding moment. And I think for me, that's again one of those moments that I aspire to have. Well, that I love having rather, is that nice debrief with a worthy opponent.
Yeah. Ooh, we get to see the tail end of the far pool over here. We'll see if they have any matches left. It looks like they do. Those fighters are not Elliot Cosgrove and Ethan Lowry.
They could be.
Hey, come correct or get corrected. If you wanna go at it, I'll happily get my butt beaten later on.
Well, I brought my gear with me for this exact purpose.
Oh, that's a drip check right there. With a smiley face.
Our lone soldier.
All right, we're going to see a little bit of this back half action.
No, I know.
You gotta get rid of our names.
I know you spoke a little bit off camera about your experience, but have you done anything outside of longsword?
Yeah, I did some longsword. I did some saber. I did some rapier. Longsword's what I was best at, just out of a pure physicality sense. I'm a big guy, so I like to get in close and sort of grab people. But rapier's a lot of fun. I mean, the technicality of it, never made a ton of sense to me just because I'm bad. But the placement, displacement, and those committed thrusts working with Kai was always a treat. And then Saber was also another favorite along with Longsword, just because it felt more expressive, fluid, and still allowed for some wrestling action.
Oh, certainly. And, I will say, you can still get into some slight wrestling with rapier. It's just it takes a little bit more finesse and technique.
Yeah, and you gotta pull the blade all the way out and then stab it in.
Well, I would highly recommend you check out Rapier and Dagger, because once your rapier is out of condition, you still have another weapon to come.
2 weapons is too many for me.
Well, it's just 2 weapons in one hand, and how much different is that from 1 weapon and 2?
Two weapons in one hand.
No, we'll go back on that.
A weapon in each hand.
A weapon in each hand, forgive me. Well, if it's a weapon in each hand, then you still have the same in Longsword, but you have a weapon in each hand.
Absolutely. My favorite strategy with Rapier and Dagger was to the old windshield wiper. You just wiggle the dagger around in front of you and then try and stab him with the rapier.
All right, and you're going to tell me that you found no success in that?
None at all.
I have high disbelief.
All right, up next, we've got Thomas Rich from the Lonan League fighting Mathurin Fogg from Masterless Fencing and Andrew Sherman, also from Masterless Fencing. We have a intra-club battle here.
And these are some really fun matches to watch, seeing people who've sparred time and time again coming into a competitive environment. And I feel like this is that moment that you really bring out that extra, that thing that your fellow peers don't see.
Yeah. You want to bring home some bragging rights. Say, hey, when the chips were down, when it was time to perform, I kicked your ass.
Now, speaking of chips, if I'm not mistaken, each fencer was given 3 chips for a reward or award for each fencer and staff.
The Rose tokens. Essentially, tokens of honor that you give to your favorite fencers or your favorite staff members. Whoever has the most at the end gets a little prize and bragging rights. Great exchange there. We saw a little bit of a Zverkow attempt.
Oh, but unsuccessful.
Blow and after blow. All right, coming in, some similar footwork from both of these guys. You can see their club similarity. A switch stance from Andrew.
A lot of patience.
Oh, a grapple.
Like straight into a grapple.
Way to keep control. No real opportunity for retaliation there. I love the way that Matt there really just stood his ground, caught him in the grapple, brought him out.
Certainly. Both fencers seeming very comfortable in their footwork, very comfortable on their guard, not wanting to give that space up.
All right. So the judges wanted to give a wound for a pommel on the way in. The fencer waved it off. This is the time where you're probably going to see the most self-calls. These guys are most likely good friends.
Oh.
Sweeping wheel cuts from Matt there. There was a small hit with the tip that they didn't halt the fight for. And then the second set of wheel cuts comes in, gets a good clean hit to the arm.
Really a nice display.
Playing a little bit tip to tip in the bind, both going for an action in the same tempo, hitting each other on the head at
and that
the
comes
same
into our first double.
Gosh darn time.
But it's that HEMA, that age-old HEMA issue of just seeing the same opportunity as your opponent. And for me, it really makes me question in that context, how many times that happens in duels.
All right,
Yeah, we saw
Andrew
another-
putting on a good display here.
with a great thrust in that last exchange. Both benches getting into a high bind, moving into a wrestle. I think that is hold being called.
Yeah, Matthew again giving no ground, letting Andrew come at him, defending with the blade.
It's that aggression into aggression that really helps that bloom.
Yeah. No solid hits there, but Joe's commending them for their control. Oh!
And we got our guys like
The sneaky little Viper strike to the leg. You got to get one in.
you gotta get one in. You know, it's that thing of a lot of people don't focus on their legs when it comes to that, and I think for me that's my personal favorite in rapier is getting that nice, unexpected leg hit.
A deflected thrust there from Matthew, responded perfectly by Andrew with that Unterschwerk to the body.
Certainly. You know, but Matthew's still committing to that thrust. You know,
Yeah.
Really giving Andrew
Not
that
quite enough
opportunity.
structure to keep his point online, though.
You know, he takes some real advantage by going into a rapier class.
Judges conferring. All right, so they're saying that there was an afterblow there, but it was that strike to the body that was the.
Yeah, that was. It seemed very uncertain from my position.
Yeah. Now with Mathurin only with 1 point left. Ooh.
You know, but really playing it safe, not collapsing that measure, really trying to stay in a position to keep himself safe.
Yeah, doing a great job of getting that clean hit, trying to claw back some wounds. Playing careful, trying to avoid a potential strike.
Oh, and we see a great response from Matt.
Defending against a strike that doesn't come, twisting around for that strike on the leg. Beautifully done.
But Andrew's still respecting Matt, even with his advantage.
Yeah. Really, he just needs to get an afterblow to win, but he doesn't want to win that way. He wants to get a nice, clean victory.
Oh, great retraction of the hands from Andrew.
Yeah.
Oh, and a great
Wow.
response from Matt. Great entry with great coverage and really opening Andrew into that opportunity.
Jumping in with that Zverkow. Now, unfortunately, the writing is on the wall. Andrew is going to take the match, but a great display of defensive fighting there.
But a great display. And again, I think it's these matches of that inner club matchment that it really just blossoms here.
And up next, we've got some very drippy Pluderhosen up against the classic Hema Black. All right, up next we've got Jack Barry and Tanner Larson. Jack Barry fighting from Lonin, Tanner fighting from the Inland Northwest Longsword Academy.
And being very relaxed, very steadfast in his guard.
Some fancy guard switches from the Lonin fighter. Drawing no reaction from Tanner. Tanner doing a great job staying solid until he can get that shield out to shoulder.
Now I got to see Jack perform last set of pools, and he really just has this beautiful art of fencing that he's developed. You know, it's very, very great to watch.
Yeah. Ooh, a high shield how from Tanner. Tanner again staying very solid.
And such a great exchange. No fencer earning a point in that exchange, I would think.
We did, our close judge saw probably a strike to the body from Jack, but the other judges didn't quite have the angle on it.
Looked like calling no exchange on that exchange. Tanner looking to get a little bit more comfortable. Oh, and finding a perfect shallow target.
Beautiful work from Tanner, using the force from the displacement to swing back around. Clean hit on the arm.
And you're looking to close measure a little bit more, coming to a high bind.
Crashing to Crone and trying to trade Sverix. It looks like Tanner's lands first. Just kidding. Looks like Jack is going to get a deep strike on Tanner. Tanner second agrees.
Yeah, but it's those exchanges when you come into that high bind and really trying to work off of that crash that it can be really hard to figure out what's going on.
Whoa, some fancy blade work from Jack there.
A real great display of swords.
Some Meyer-esque fencing from a not typically very Meyer-esque club. And it works out maybe.
Man, that replay. Tanner coming from that thrust, but Jack being able to make that response.
Yeah, Jack is going to take 2 wounds for that first strike to the body. Again, Tanner coming in looking like a plate straight out of a Meyer manual, and with a great Unterswerk right into the abdomen of Tanner. Judges disagree on what they saw.
No exchange being called.
No exchange.
Oh, Jack really taking that long card. Oh, but Tanner really presenting that point.
In a beautiful textbook method, Jack spins that blade up, manages to catch the incoming cut, bring it above his head, swing under with this Verkow. Really pretty fencing from Jack.
Really taking advantage of this flourishes here. And we've come back into that tied score. Tanner looking to take the lead.
Tanner gets the better of that one.
But still could be anybody's match.
It really can. Very even. And no doubles here. Whoa!
Oh, Jack really trying to take that prima tempo.
Some fascinating strategic choices from Jack here with the couple of hops in, going for the Shielhow to the top of the head.
But it did not
or the Scheitelhow, excuse me.
Did not look like it turned out for him.
No.
Tanner's starting to get a little bit more aggressive.
I think Tanner's just a little bit too steady, not willing to jump on the bait. But Jack does get a clean hit to the hand there. Great defensive parries there from Jack till he can land a hit to the hand.
And good fighting till the hold.
Yeah, they're going to call that afterblow out of tempo. This is a very close match.
Jack's still really holding on to this position. Coming in with that great flourish. So he really presented this whole tournament.
Good defensive work from Jack there.
Oh, and a great cut from Tanner Larson.
He does drive that thrust in, but not before he takes the cut to the abdomen.
And it looks like our judges are conflicted on what they saw. Or maybe not so.
Ethan, unfortunately, that streamer beer is catching up with me, so I'm going to leave you alone for just a moment while I make a visit to the restroom. Entertain our viewers, please.
I'll do my very best. It looks like our judge is coming out from that decision. A little bit of conflict on that afterblow. Looks like they're resetting that exchange in lieu of that last exchange. Both playing a little bit more passive. Trying to get those slashes. Tanner coming from that undercut, not quite making, but a great response into those both cuts from the top. And it looks like Tanner is going to take that. That cut from Jack Barry not looking like it quite landed. And it seems like our judges agree, ending our match. And such a great exchange for both Tanner Larson and Jack Barry. A great display of swordsmanship. Both coming in very beautiful, very structured fencing. Such a great movement. Here we are coming into our next match. Goose, can you update the names on the... This next match coming in from Joshua Gothberg from Seven Swords Academy and Matt Fogg again from Masterless. Now really changing up his lines of attack, and Josh being very comfortable. Oh, I had that backwards. Josh really taking advantage of his left hand and being able to make that strike from Matt crashing in.
All right, I'm back. Tell me what I missed, Ethan.
Oh, you missed an excellent exchange.
Yeah, we've got Joshua from Seven Swords, who had a great showing in the first set of pools, up against Mathurin from Masterless. Excellent work. I did want to quickly mention thank you, Joshua Baker, for making sure your streamers stay hydrated by donating to the beer fund. If you come tomorrow, we'd love to get you on the mic. Love you, buddy.
And that's really what keeps the stream going.
Absolutely. All right, so both fighters are going to suffer one wound for that one for a blow after blow.
But one a match I'm really excited to watch. You know, I've seen Josh's display of swordsmanship and seeing Matt being very comfortable in his moves.
That looked like another blow after blow to me. Some very offensive fencing here. Neither fighter prioritizing defending themselves. Some fancy footwork from Joshua there. And Unterhau catches him on the hand.
Josh really trying to take that offline to open his his opponent up, to open Matt up and get him an opportunity to strike in maybe a location that Matt's not used to.
Yeah, Matt just too composed, not really taking the bait.
Certainly.
Oh, both fighters rushing in. Dirty exchange. None of the judges really know what happened, and neither do I. They're going to call that a blow with after blow in Joshua's favor.
And I will say that's quite impressive because that's such a hard thing to see from here, especially with those crashes into that high bind and both fencers trying to work off of it. It can just be so confusing.
Yeah, when you have to parse between 4 actions that all happened within a quarter second, really difficult. Mathurin making a great showing here. The judge making sure that force is not escalating, telling both of the fighters to maintain control. Getting a big reaction there out of Joshua. Not able to follow up. Joshua gets the hit there. Oh, but they both get a hit. They're going to call that the first double of the match.
No, I think Joshua really trying to gain his advantage back. And Matt getting very comfortable in his lead.
Oh, a kneeling slide in.
Coming from that hand snipe, but Josh not quite giving it to him. Oh, but a beautiful opportunity given to Josh.
Yeah, great reaction from Joshua there to knock the blade away, get a quick cut in. Ooh.
Well, it looked like a great defense from Josh.
Yeah, that looked like a clean Zverkow from Josh to Mathurin to the arm. But they're going to call it blow after blow, which will lead to a Mathurin victory. Masterless fencing doing a great job today. That's the second fighter we've seen on the live stream put on a great performance. Excellent work.
And a great display to all the fencers who made that effort to come out and compete today.
Hey, Peter's grabbing a boffer, about to have some casual sparring. Should we get a camera on him? Say hello to our second favorite commentator, Peter, out there showing his sword skills.
A true masterclass.
Yeah. We got a great shot here of Peter taking advantage of his break from commentating.
Oh, looking so majestic.
To show his skills, but we're going to come back to the action.
Back into Jack Barry.
Again, our favorite Lonin Meyerist up against our other masterless fencer, Jack Barry and Andrew Sherman.
Truly a clash of some human competition giants in our sport.
Yeah. Looks like that Scheitelhau from Jack was met with a Zornhau to the head. Easily could be called a double. They're going to call it a blow after blow.
It's like a little bit of indecision from the judges.
Yeah, one wound each. Jack Barry coming in, swinging his sword.
That very iconic style that he's been presenting.
Yeah, with that fool's guard flipping up,
Oh,
showing the threat,
Andrew
but does
quite
not.
landing.
Yeah, doesn't quite get that thrust out of the way. Blow after blow. Ooh.
Both benches seem to go back and forth, but no quite certain exchange.
Yeah, I saw no quality strikes there, but it looks like our close judge and Joe both saw Jack.
Certainly a lot of clashing of steel.
Yeah, that slow-mo doesn't confirm a whole lot, but moving on again, we've got Andrew rushing Jack on the edge. Jack responding well, keeping himself safe. Dropping a short edge strike on the top of Andrew's head. Oh, Jack looking like a picture out of a manual. Oh, and again, just falling to pressure from Andrew. Really committing to those thrusts. This one looks like it landed on the chest.
And it looks like they're calling no action before the ring out. Definitely a hard thing when fencing, you know, getting used to that ring or being able to know your distance from it.
Yeah. Once you step out of the ring, combat ends, or that exchange ends. He's making the point that the thrust would have landed if he hadn't stepped out. But Joe has it confused which one was thrusting and which one stepped out.
To which no exchange is being called.
Jack rushing into the center. Ooh, a lovely long reach for the leg. Getting that score just a little closer to even, getting himself a little breathing room.
Jack really taking that center dominance, but Andrew really fighting back for it.
Yeah, it looks like he did manage to displace the thrust this time and land that cut to the head. A high leg, some fast swings from Jack. Oh, beautiful.
And it looks like we got our little hand snipe coming from Andrew.
I hope we can see a slow-mo of that step in.
Andrew clawing his way back into this fight.
Yeah, Jack really struggling to handle the committed thrust, but it looks like he got it this time.
It looks like they're calling it.
Match for Jack. Well done.
Great fighting. Now looks like up next we have Joshua Gothberg into Tanner Larson.
right, gearing up for our next match. That jester face, as frightening as ever.
That really striking from Josh.
Yeah.
Something truly to strike fear into his opponents.
There is something to be said for the mental aspect.
Both fencers maintaining a very calm demeanor into this beginning.
Yeah, riding that blade in to strike to the head. Great bind work.
Being very respectful of that center line.
Joshua with another clean hit to a shallow target, taking an early lead. Oh, showing great poise, not overreacting to parry that strike on the left and managing to send that cut around.
Yeah. Tanner really trying to make that double advance, classic rapier technique.
Yeah. Great work from Joshua here, very clean fencing.
Oh, and an excellent exchange of back and forth of steel.
Yeah, good defensive fighting from both.
And a great retraction of the hands from Tanner Larson on that final exchange.
Yeah, just a little messy at the end, but he manages to get that clean hit to the hand and exits the exchange.
Barely avoiding that afterblow.
A little clap from Joe for a great display of defensive fencing. Some strong cuts from Josh.
But some strong defense coming from Tanner.
Yeah, great parries, managing to just land a little hit to the hand, although our FAR judge saw something a little different.
And another contested call.
No exchange.
Really pretty whirling cuts coming. Oh, and some great footwork coming from Tanner.
I cannot believe that exchange lasted that long. I thought I saw 3 different things land.
Absolutely beautiful. Great fencing from both fencers coming into this match.
Gorgeous deflections.
Moving up for that first tempo from Josh. Oh, and a great body void from Tanner.
Yeah.
And it looks like it doesn't quite go his way.
They still saw it land, although I would say there was an afterblow. That's 1 wound for Tanner for a shallow target.
Both fencers really fighting.
Yeah, good exchange of parries there.
It's like
one wound each for a blow with afterblow. Doing their best to keep it even. Need an update to the scoreboard? No, the score's not updating.
and a great back and forth coming from both fences. Oh, and another great display.
Yeah, trading cuts around. I saw Tanner, it looked like, landed one to the ribs.
Both fencers really creating that pattern of that back and forth and doing an excellent job of breaking at that moment of opportunity.
So just for our viewers at home, we have a little bit of a delay on the scoreboard, but the score right now is 4 HP for Joshua, 3 HP for Tanner.
About to change from that really committed thrust coming from Joshua.
There we go. Now we see the updated score, bringing it down to the wire. both exploring. It looked like a hit with no quality from Tanner and good quality from Joshua. That should be match Joshua.
Coming to our final end. But
Great
still
work to both fencers.
Absolutely beautiful display of that parry and response.
All right, up next we're going to see Jack from Lonan and Mathurin from Masterless. I'm very excited for this match. We saw some really pretty stuff from Mathurin earlier, and of course Jack, this entire pool, has just been pulling out the prettiest fencing he possibly can.
But maintaining great poise and really keeping a cool head.
Yeah, really good form, really good technique.
And I think especially in this matchup, that'll really come to show.
Ooh, trying to escape the measure there, but gets hit by a shallow target. Oh,
Jack presenting that
again.
point forward, but not quite playing out how he wanted.
Yeah, Jack can't quite get out of measure fast enough. Trying to void those strikes instead of parry.
I think he's really looking for that collection of his opponent's energy into that cut around.
Again,
Matt finding a
Mathurin.
really nice strike.
He's got the sniper, the hand sniper action going.
Really keeping his measure under control. I don't think that Matt's really giving Jack those opportunities that he's looking for.
Jack coming in again. Ooh, changing direction quickly. Jumping out and then back into measure. Good defense this time, but he gets grabbed and stabbed. Oh, but it looks like Jack got something on the way in. Deep target.
Jack earning some points on the board.
Jack's getting a little bit better sense of measure, able to void those strikes.
Oh, but a great planted strike coming from Matt.
Yeah. Chasing that thrust down, planting it into his chest.
I think Jack's really having a hard time finding that pattern that Matt's building. He's not getting that back and forth that he's quite used to.
Yeah, needs to get his blade a little bit more involved in his defensive work.
There we are, moving back into
beautiful
that.
parries.
Oh, but a good opportunity found by Matt.
He rides that bind in to get the thrust into the overlay on the helmet. And that is going to be match gold. An excellent showing from Mathurin there.
Definitely a lot of excitement.
Didn't let Jack get into his more tricky actions.
I think Matt really took that advantage of really working to what he had and trying to get that, finding that thrust successfully.
Exactly. Beautiful work from both fencers there.
Our next match, Tanner Larson and Andrew Sherman.
As you said, Tanner Larson is now going up against Andrew Sherman. Masterless versus Inland Northwest Longsword Academy. Playing in the bind, going for some short strikes to the hand. Great void of the hands.
Both fencers playing at that edge of measure, really waiting for that last second to move in.
Yeah, but I agree with our FAR judge there. Andrew Sherman did get that cut up into the body of Tanner. Need a scoreboard. Oh, a great Zverkow into the body as the afterblow.
And incorrected.
Evening up the score. Ooh, Andrew coming out of that high bomb tog with a committed thrust, deflected. Gets a nice light hit to the arm.
But both fencers staying very calm.
Yeah. The poise on display.
Good crump.
Yeah, so fun to see Andrew. You know, he gets into that stance, plants his feet so that he can start cranking those Zverkows out.
Yeah.
Still exhibiting excellent control.
But Tanner's still looking for opportunities in what he's being presented.
Absolutely. Ooh, that looked like either a blow after blow or a double. They're going to call it a double. Both fighters going in the same tempo.
Certainly an amusing exchange of both fighters trying to find that just out of measure hand snipe.
If you do not strike an opening that you see, you're
And an excellent thrust from Andrew.
Wow!
And it looks like they're going to award him with control.
Was there control? I would say there wasn't. There was plenty of opportunity for an afterblow.
There certainly was, but it definitely looked like his sword point was right in the middle of his
What
arm.
a planted thrust.
And some beautiful flex coming from it. Definitely something that I don't think anybody expected out of that exchange.
Yeah. Ooh.
Both fencers really starting to spice it
there
up.
we go. A clean cut around to the arm from Tanner, trying to get a little bit of those points back. Gets himself out of danger of a loss on differential.
Really sees that thrust coming and just moves into that square.
Yeah, deflects it up, comes with that Zverkow from underneath.
But still, not quite playing less aggressive, still maintaining his poise.
So Joe is pointing out that even though the cut might have landed on the elbow, it was just because it was in front of the body. That cut could have gone through easily, getting into the body. Whoa!
And a real out-of-nowhere strike.
With a
from Tanner
fainted
Larson.
Zverk switching to a one-handed thrust.
This has certainly been a match for surprises.
A tricky technique to get that score just a little bit closer to even.
But bringing Tanner back into this fight.
Oh,
And what may very well have been our final exchange.
that is going to be tough to call. They're going to call a mono E. don't have a score on the stream. They're conferring. When it's this close, they don't want to give a wrong point. We're going to see some sportsmanlike conduct from the fencers there, commiserating over the blows they shared. All right, let's see how the judges call it. A thrust from Tanner landed, leaving a piece of tape. And they're going to say that afterblow landed flat, giving the win to Tanner.
It's such a great display.
Wow.
You know, really fighting for that back. Really
what a
fighting
comeback.
For that victory.
Excellent work to Tanner. And great fencing from Andrew as well. No discredit. But you love to see an underdog come back and win.
I still have to commendate Tanner for his poise and for his ability to stay cool, even in that point differential. You know, not offering up a moment of weakness.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to that difference, that's such an important thing to do.
Here we have our Lonan crew giving some advice before this fight. It's Jack Barry from Lonan and Joshua Gothberg from Seven Swords.
Well, very well can.
Very excited for this one.
A very amusing match.
Two flashy fighters. We'll see if Jack's trickery and guard switching works a little better in this one than it did in his last.
And it looks like our camera operator was awarded a red card for misconduct.
Jack voiding that slash. Staying calm, playing at the edge of measure, sneaking in, waiting for the committed attack. Does deflect the first one, but it does look like Joshua was able to connect with the second redoubling cut. Both transitioning guards, waiting for an opportunity. Some wild slashes from Joshua. Jack, no reaction. Ooh.
Oh, but giving up no ground.
Yeah, good parry from Jack, and it looks like he did land that thrust.
I think Jack's starting to get more comfortable into this
yeah, we'll see in the slow-mo. He comes up and over with the thrust. Right there.
And such
planting beautifully.
Oh, and straight into our next engage, Joshua.
Yeah, Joshua taking advantage of Jack going into a low, very stable, immobile stance there, jumping in for that clean strike to the hand. No, to the body, sorry. 6-7, by the way.
Truly, the meme that will not die.
Ooh.
Oh. Yeah, I'm
a
not too
cross cut towards the mask that missed, but a response from Jack for a shallow hit.
Oh, Josh really sticking in that.
A point forward ox guard transitioning to the fools. Ox to flug.
I think Jack looking for that.
Vomtog to cut. Jack not quite able to respond to the second cut.
And Josh really giving that opening. Really creating that opening from Jack.
Oh, but they saw a strike from Jack land first. Ooh, aggressive move from Josh there. Avoided by Jack. Great, defense, but he gets a little bit wrapped up in that flashy little circular motion, Joshua was able to capitalize with what looked like a shallow hit.
Punishing that flourish. And I think Josh really able to make that strike onto Jack amidst the tomfoolery of both of them trying to exit.
Jack does manage to get that afterblow, though, keeping the score close.
Josh still maintaining his his composure.
Not able to quite parry that all the way.
And I think that's
they're going to call that a blow after blow.
Still no doubles in this exchange.
And thank goodness for that.
I'm quite impressed with a lot of the displays that we've been seeing in this match. Just near miss from Josh.
Playing with measure, voiding the strike to the head. Again.
Jack at the edge of the ring.
Oh!
But a great thrust from Josh.
Runs out of room to retreat and takes the thrust to the neck.
A blow
Certainly no control on that, on the opponent's blade, but bringing this to a 1-1 sudden death.
Jack being a little careful.
Exploratory thrusts and feints. Neither fighter willing to commit.
Josh maintaining that center. And Jack,
That was a blow after blow.
That looks like our final exchange.
I don't know how that affects the score. It's a draw.
It's a draw.
With no doubles. Both fighters taking the last point. Great work to both fighters. Very evenly matched, clearly.
A great display. And we've had an entire pool of great displays.
Now we're going to see Tanner come back.
Coming up to Mathurin, Fogg, and Tanner Larson.
Blow after blow. That thrust to the body landed with...
Tanner keeping that point forward guard and Matt really just working from that opportunity, that lack of action from it.
Rushing in, no quality there that I saw.
But really, really good control of the center from Tanner. Oh, and Tanner coming to that crump perfectly. But most likely it will be called a blow after blow.
Ooh, a little upcut on the wrist there, giving an extra point to Mathurin.
Both fighters looking for that hand shot, but Tanner not really being able to quite find it.
That looked like it almost got deflected, but got through the parry by just a little bit to land on the head.
Making it through that crone, I think it is in German. Crone?
Crone being the, it was almost a hanger guard. Crone. Yeah, why not? What do I know?
Well, we can agree to disagree.
Yeah. I think we're agreeing to agree. I'm agreeing with you.
I'm all for aggressive agreement. Oh! And it looks like 2 strikes from Matt
He
in the tempo of the
kneels
response
down,
from Tanner.
gets the shot on the leg, up almost in time to parry, but it looks like the judges think that the afterblow did land on the hands.
I will say it did look like Tanner scored that afterblow, but again, an impressive display from Matthew.
Whoa.
Tanner having a great retraction.
I didn't see that thrust land.
Avoiding the strike.
No exchange on that one.
Oh, and what looked like a good body void from Tanner.
I thought I saw Mathurin land to the head there.
That certainly was close.
No exchange. Judges can't agree.
Oh,
There we
Mathurin
go.
being able to find that hand strike.
Cutting around to the hand, landing emphatically.
But pulling out of measure just in time to avoid retaliation.
Mathurin
Moving to a grapple
rolling
from that
in,
line.
trying to get control of that blade. A halt is called. Who hit the first strike? Looks like Mathurin, which is going to be match Mathurin. Congratulations. Masterless Fencing making a great showing in this pool. Up next, we'll have Andrew Sherman versus Joshua Gothberg.
This is the final pool of this, or final match of this pool of elims.
All right. Exciting.
You know, they do say they save the best for last.
Well, they do say that. Although all of our fighters today have been excellent. Both coming in upright, points forward in a low guard, up to Vomtog, probing slash. A committed thrust deflected offline and a strike to the body from Joshua. Again, circling around, trying to find a bind. Up to Vomtog for Josh. Oh!
Andrew
A
able to find
beautifully
it.
timed deflection from Josh, but it looks like they both landed a little something. Oh, a series of blows from Josh. Deflected. Andrew responds perfectly. Clean shot to the arm.
It looked like Josh wasn't really able to look for those openings he was trying to create, but Andrew was able to find one in the meantime.
He was striking at the blade, and Andrew was giving him the blade to strike at. Oh, a strong thrust, and we have a severe bend in the sword from that one.
Oh, and it looks like Ryan's second is calling, Andrew's second, forgive me, is calling a gear.
Can we get a slow-mo of that one?
So taking a quick halt.
We're going to check the blade. Once a blade takes a set bend, sometimes it affects the structural integrity. Judge took a look, said it's okay. But a great thrust from Andrew there. Andrew taking that iron wall guard.
Oh, Josh trying to find that offline cut.
Ooh. Yeah, the judges thought he parried, but he said, no, that made it through. Struck me in the head clean.
Good honor coming from Andrew Sherman.
Great sportsmanship from Andrew.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, what an exchange. Both fighters parrying, striking back. Looks like Joshua was the one who landed.
Yeah, seeing this nice back and forth with Andrew finding a couple of spots.
Taking back a narrow lead.
Joshua maybe finding that afterglow. Oh. And what looks like it will be our first double.
Yeah. Both fighters cautious, trying to draw a reaction. Again, Andrew trying to parry. Joshua gets around it, just a skosh there.
That left-handedness really coming in handy in this competition.
It's very difficult to fight left-handed fighters again.
What would have been a beautiful cut around coming
Great
from Joshua.
display of blade work from both of them. Joshua getting the better, or Andrew getting the better of this one. Even at 2-2, one deep strike wins the match.
Coming to our final match of elims.
Oh.
Not quite. Oh, and we're having a self-call from Andrew.
He's going to call it. That was a shallow hit. I would say, honestly, that's one of those ones that the quality of the strike was not quite enough that I would self-call that against the judges.
I quite agree.
But sportsmanship takes the day.
Oh! And it looks like that self-call.
This is going to be another draw because that was a strike to a deep target with an afterblow. Another draw.
Replay. Josh hitting that. Oh, but both fighters almost seeming a double in the replay.
2 draws in the elim pools. Great job to both fighters. I will say there, Andrew lost to his own sportsmanship. Great work to both of them.
Certainly. And we had many, many great displays of beautiful sportsmanship.
And that is the end of the elimination pool. We're going to have an announcement from Joe Calistro.
Miles and I are going to have a rematch from last year. Yeah.
All right, we're going to have a special exhibition match. We're going to get to see Joe on the field.
You know, I actually haven't seen Joe fence live yet.
Hey, we need Joe and Miles' name up. Oh, you can't see it, but we have Joe with the Klingon
the batleth.
two-handed, the batleth versus Miles with the sword coming in. A strange guard from Joe cutting around to the leg. Miles holding on to the bind, holding him away. Oh, he strikes him to the face. Oh, incredible. Oh, he executes him. We're witnessing an execution live on screen.
Now, I'm not
Miles.
sure if we can show that brutality live.
A strong victory. Unfortunately, that will mean this stream is fully demonetized for mortal violence. You can find the recap on LiveLeak later. Just kidding. It's not going to be on LiveLeak. That's only for actual. But that is Joe and his son, Miles, having a repeat of their exhibition match from last year. Great folks. That's my president.
Well, I certainly can't wait to see Miles taking up swords. Yeah, something that I've really started to see in a lot of parents in HEMA is bringing their children up in the culture and really developing them.
Yeah. We watched you get executed live on stream. It was phenomenal. Miles!
Our competitors coming up to the booth and giving a debrief of their match.
And now we're going to have some deliberation from our event coordination staff. So we're apparently just going to talk for a little while since they're leaving the cameras on. How are you feeling about our elimination pool?
You know, I'm feeling really strong. We saw some really, really great displays of swordsmanship. Jack Barry really coming in with a lot of those beautiful whirling cuts.
A lot of really cool Meyer-esque fencing, not something you see very often out of Lonin.
Oh, certainly.
You know, they're typically a much shorter cutting, point online sort of club. Really cool to see so many different techniques coming out of there today. Every Lonin fighter we've seen has taken a different approach to their fight. That was obviously one of my favorites. As a fan of Meyer and fancy fencing in general, really fun to watch.
Yeah, and I've heard many people from Lonin describe it as several smaller clubs in one big greater trench coat of Lonin.
Yeah, they're really differentiating their techniques, giving us more of a wider view of HEMA and martial arts in general, which I personally really appreciate. We did have a stint of a couple of years where Lonin was coming up, cleaning up the podium. They've taken some of their champions out of the running graciously. Thank you, Lonin. Much appreciated. Give some other folks some chances to win, but really fun to see some of the new stuff coming from there, from our brotherhood in Seattle.
Well, and to say that IFG's had a lot of successful fighters in this last round of SoCal.
Yeah, really some strong improvement. I know that we've opened up some more competitively geared training in Portland, even though we have the very beginner-friendly folks, opening up that sort of competitive space so that we can come and compete in our own tournament and win. It's a great time.
But really seeing the, I feel like the competitive scene is really starting to grow, and within our club as well, where we're getting a lot more competitors being more active in the sphere.
It's really exciting to see. We often send folks down to SoCal, to Sword Crush, all of the West Coast tournaments. Here we have one of our event coordinators, Rabbit, now chatting with the rest of our streaming crew, not wanting to come hang out with us second-class citizens.
Leaving us abandoned.
Hey, Rabbit. Top 10. Okay, so it has been announced that we are moving straight into the finals for the top 10 fighters. I don't know how that bracket works. Yeah.
Something I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah. It's tough to break a bracket into 10 people. You got a couple of bye rounds, I'm sure. But we're going to take a short break for the moment. Short break, while we wait for elims to start, and then we'll be back in just a few minutes with more fencing action. Ethan, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Phenomenal.